a big deal. Invited to dinner at the captain's table. Whoa. The ship's captain, very important guy. He runs the ship and he runs the entire operation. The cruise director could be a person who is in charge of the passengers and the tourists, in the sense of taking them and showing them what we're doing and where we're going. I'm running that part of it, but the captain runs the whole thing, ship and crew, and visits to the islands, etc. Bruise. You have bruise. Now you have bruise. Bend. Bend. End. 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 Lend. Lend. Mend. Mend. Right. You remember, you have to, I overemphasize sometimes the men, but it's the important thing is that you have to have a little bit of a tag on the end, in this case the D sound, men, just a bit, to change it from men to mend. If I say men, oh, men, oh, you, me, men, the males. But mend, with the little bit of a D on the end, changes everything from men to mend. It's not a mend, but you got to have something there or you've mispronounced the word. Mend. Just a tag. What is a bruise? Is that a 12-day cruise? No, a bruise. Maybe when that passenger fell and slipped on the deck, he may have bruised his arm. Oh, he'll be okay. He just has a bruise. Yeah, a slight injury to cause a discoloration, a black and blue mark on your arm. I hit the floor and I bruised my arm. I have a bruise on my arm. A bruise, 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 cruise, cruise, bruise, bruise. Then you can keep going with cruise and bruise. Cruise. The cruise on the cruise. The cruiser on the cruise. The cruise on the cruise. The crew are the people working on the ship. The crew. So the cruise has 200 members in the crew. Yeah. What? Crew, cruise. Bruise. 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 Who's brewing the coffee? Somebody's making coffee. Is there coffee brewing? Bubble, 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 bubble. Coffee brewing? Yeah. Brew? Bruise. Bruise. Different, same pronunciation, totally different word. Bruise. I have a bruise on my arm. End. End. Yeah. Yeah, to finish. It's coming to an end. It's coming to a finish. It will be over shortly. The end is near. People hold those signs up in the street sometimes. The end is near. Wow, what do they know that I don't know? The end is near, is it? The end is near. The finish. And a little bit of a D at the end. Bend. Yeah, well, right, to alter the straightness of something would be to bend it. There's the river, and there's the bend in the river, the turning around, yeah, you could take a metal pipe and bend it. Change the shape from straight to an angle by bending, turning it in one direction or another. The bend in the river. We were sailing down the river and reached the bend, the turning. Mend. Mend.
To fix.
Exactly. To fix. To finish and mend to fix. Suppose that you were wearing a jacket like this fellow right here, and suddenly there was a tear in the jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to have my jacket mended, fixed, repaired, mended.
Yeah.
To mend, to fix, repair. The fellow with the bruised arm could say that, oh, I could say to him, how are you feeling after your fall? Oh, I'm getting better. I'm on the mend. I'm getting better. I'm improving. Mend, end, bruise, bend, lend. What does lend mean?
Lend me some money.
Well, what does that mean? Lend me some money. Lend. I will lend you some money. I will give you some money for a period of time.
Oh, yes.
It will come back to me with a little extra later, interest.
Yeah.
So to lend is to give something, a book, a lending library, a library that lends books to people, but the idea is that you have to bring the book back. If I lend you 1,000 baht, maybe next week you have to give me back the 1,000 baht because you only borrowed the 1,000 baht. I will lend you the money if you promise to pay it back. Yes, I will then. I will lend you the money. Lend.
It's the same borrow. Borrow money. Borrow money.
Yeah, well, you are the borrower. I am the lender.
Yeah.
I will lend you the money which you will borrow. You get the idea? I will lend you the money that you borrow. And when you borrow, you pay back the money.
Must in a little interest,
Oh, you're right.
right?
I give you 1,000 baht, and tomorrow you owe me 1,100 baht. The next day, 1,500 baht. The third day, 2,000 baht. Whoa, whoa. Very high interest rate. Most of the time, it's not like that. If it's a legitimate, honest business, they don't charge you that much. Maybe a little bit.
What about the lend cassette?
Oh, well, that's a different story. Lens, the lens of the eye. This is lend, this is lens. The camera lens, the glass that you look through to take the picture. I'm looking at through the lens and taking your picture. Lens. Yeah. That's why lend, lens. Those sounds do not have to be always pronounced as much as I make them, lens and bend. But the idea is that you have to know they're there. They just have to be a little bit lens, lend. Just a tad, but it changes the whole meaning. And if you don't do it properly, what did he say? What's that guy talking about? That type of thing. Mend and lend and end and bend and bruise. Lens, cruise. Not this cruise, these members of the crew. The crews on the ship, the people working on the ship, make up the crew. Brews. He's brewing coffee in the other room. Can you smell the coffee? Yeah, they're brewing coffee in the other room. You'll have a cup in just a moment.
Yeah.
Brewing, brews. That's why these words are a little bit tricky, but once you get the understanding, it's how they're used and how they're pronounced to change everything. Any questions about these words? Bend in the river, bruise my arm. I'm on the mend. Can I lend you something? A book, please. I'll borrow a book if you'll lend it to me. Well, I'll lend it to you if you borrow it. Okay. Finish. Fix. Cruise and bruise. Bend in the river.